3, hit it!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. If you like the kinds of things we talk about in these podcasts each week, please do check out our basic course in living from the inside out at michaelneill.org/basic course. And you can become one of over 25,000 people to take this free program and learn more about the what I call the inside-out understanding, what the Scottish mystic Sid Banks called the 3 principles underlying the human experience. Today, I want to share something that's been delighting me and sharing it in hopes that it delights you, or at the very least you find it useful, helpful, fun, thought-provoking. And it's a variation on a theme. If you've been listening to these podcasts regularly, you know one of the things I talk about a lot is being yourself. One of the books I'm working on right now is called The Simple Power of Being Yourself. And part of being yourself is thinking what you think and doing what you do and being who you are, and not trying to think differently, do differently, be different. There's a beautiful quote, and it comes from a recording of Sid Banks called The Missing Link, which is different to his book, The Missing Link. And he says, if you drop your ego, your image of self-importance, and just be who you are, whoever that is, you'll find the secret of heaven here on earth. You'll see that you're not who you think you are. You're something nicer, far better, really nice. And for me, each time I drop the self-image, the idea of who I should be, want to be, would like to be seen as, would not like to be seen as, and just be, I experience so much more freedom, so much more well-being, so much more creativity, so much more connectivity to all of life. Now, one aspect of that I had not noticed is that as well as being who I am and doing what I do and thinking what I think, I'm also free to love what I love. And what prompted this realization was a very innocuous seeming conversation where a friend of mine and I were talking, and they said, you know, your love of the New England Patriots comes from God. Now, that is not a sentence that I've heard very often, not even up in Boston. So I was kind of intrigued by this. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And they said, well, I don't think it's random or arbitrary that you love your football team as much as you do. I know a lot of people love their football teams, and it's to do with where they're from and it's local. But there's also a lot of people who grow up in the exact same environment and don't. What if you love what you love because you're meant to? What if you love what you love because that's what you're made to love? Now, I won't pretend to know how that works, and I'm not making an assertion that that is true. But what I will share is that when I started to play with the idea of loving what I love, instead of judging myself for what I love, or thinking, well, I love this a little too much, and I probably should love that, or I shouldn't as soon as it starts getting into managing what I love to be more mentally acceptable, socially acceptable, I lose the love. And yet there's no more beautiful feeling than love. It's the feeling that most of us spend most of our lives trying to find and keep. But it's already there in what we love. Now, as I continued to play with it, I saw that there were a lot of things I love that are kind of, I don't know why I love them. I don't know why I love golf. I don't know why I love talking about this stuff with you guys each week. I don't know why I love writing. I don't know why I don't love the things I don't particularly love. And for years, it seemed important to me to know that. And more recently, it seemed like the least important thing in the world. And the most important thing in the world is to just really love what I love. And that includes things that I don't even know I love yet, like what would I love to talk about? How would I love to talk about it? What would I love to, this one was radical. I mean, I don't know if you could feel safe trying this at home, but like I actually went to the bathroom to brush my teeth and went, is this how I'd love to get ready for bed? And I found that bits of what I do every night for the last 40 years are, and bits of it weren't. And I changed what I did before bed. And it felt really naughty, I gotta be honest, but it was so cool because I was I was encouraging myself to love what I love and not worry about the rest. I found myself with more love, more of the feeling of love, doing more of what I love in ways that I love doing. Now, before you tell yourself or oh, that's not practical. Well, that's all well and good, but I have to do this and I have to do that. I'm not even saying there may not be things you have to do. But what I am saying is, wherever you get the chance to love what you love and to find ways to ask yourself to explore, to see more about what you love, to find more things to love in the simplest of ways, the more love you'll start to experience and the more you will inevitably begin to love your life. And it just kind of makes sense that being yourself, not who you think you are, not who you think you should be, just you, whoever you are, doing what you do, thinking what you think, and loving what you love is one of the simplest and most powerful shifts that you can make. Have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring, and I'll talk with you soon.